Hey everyone, I'm Goofyword, back with another episode of Totally Obscure, where we look at the coolest things you can do with the cards you didn't know you should be playing in Commander. Today we're going to take a look at Hecatomb, a black enchantment that has a lot of hoops for us to jump through. First, we're going to take a look at some of the normal value uses for it, and then I will walk you through a truly awful combo that takes advantage of it. Let's take a look. Hecatomb is a 3 mana enchantment. It costs 1 black, and it says when Hecatomb enters play, you have to sacrifice it unless you sacrifice 4 creatures. The effect is that you can tap an untapped swamp you control to deal 1 damage to any target. So this is going to turn all of your swamps into pings. But again, first we're going to have to sacrifice 4 creatures. So first let's look at how we can easily get Hecatomb on the battlefield. Some of the best ways to get the 4 creatures required to sacrifice are Sengir Autocrat, which is 4 creatures all on its own, or Rite of Belzenlach, which will give you the 4/0/1 creatures over the course of 2 turns, or you could use Endrick Sar, Master Breeder, which will give you Thralls equal to the converted mana cost of any creature spells you cast. These are all great ways to get a large number of creatures very quickly so that when we play our Hecatomb, we'll have the fodder needed to keep it on the battlefield. Once you've sacrificed the 4 creatures required and you actually get Hecatomb on the battlefield, there are a few different options for how to make it good. One option is to use Death Pits of Wrath, which makes it so whenever a creature takes damage, it's destroyed, and then you can use your swamps to ping any creature your opponents control and keep the board clear every turn. Another good option is to use Enrage triggers, something like Polyraptor, which are going to make more copies of itself. Another good value card for Hecatomb is Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, because it's going to turn all lands into swamps, which means that instead of only your swamps pinging, every land you control now can be tapped to deal 1 damage to any target. Now that we've looked at some of the normal value cases, buckle up for a truly awful combo that uses Hecatomb to win the game, or at least deal an infinite amount of damage. But this combo is also in 3 or 4 colors, depending on how you put it together, and some of the cards in it are very expensive. This is a terrible combo, but the combo potential is there, so maybe we should give it a little bit of respect. The things you're going to need are Hecatomb on the battlefield, so we're going to need to sacrifice those 4 creatures. We're also going to need Cacophodon, the 2/5 dinosaur that has an Enrage trigger to untap any permanent. We're going to need Earthcraft, the 2 mana enchantment that says that you can tap a creature to untap a basic land. And we're going to need Goblin Medic, which is a 3 mana 1/1 that when it becomes tapped deals a damage to any target. First, you're going to tap a swamp and target your Cacophodon to deal 1 damage to it. Then, the Cacophodon is going to target the Goblin Medic, and before the Cacophodon's ability resolves, while it's still on the stack, you are going to use Earthcraft to tap the Goblin Medic and untap the swamp you used to ping the Cacophodon. The Goblin Medic, when it becomes tapped, deals 1 damage to any target. After it pings whatever you want, the Cacophodon's Enrage trigger resolves, meaning you will untap your Goblin Medic, and because of Earthcraft's effect, the land is untapped. So at the end of this whole loop, you have an untapped land, a Medic that is untapped, you've done 1 damage to any target, and the Cacophodon has 1 damage marked on it. Of course, you can't do this an infinite number of times without some way to give Cacophodon indestructible. So we're going to use either Eldrazi Monument, which is colorless and gives indestructible, but you have to sacrifice a creature at the beginning of each turn, or we could use something like Indestructibility, but that puts us into white as well. Like I said, this is a combo that's in red, green, black, and maybe white, and Earthcraft is a very expensive reserve list card, so basically if you want to play this combo, it's because you really want to, not because it's the best thing you could be doing. But hey, Hecatomb is involved in an infinite combo. So that's Hecatomb. It is truly an awful, unique, different card, but if you can actually get it onto the battlefield, pinging anything for each swamp you tap is a very powerful effect. I'm Goofyword. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Totally Obscure. If you want to see any specific card, just leave me a comment with the totally obscure card that you would want to see me cover next. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and share it around with your friends in the Magic community. Until next time, have a great day.